Hello everyone, and welcome to the third episode of Todd Talk, because when Todd talks, people listen. Hopefully. So I am very excited for today's episode because you're talking about something very near and dear to me, Death Battle. Now if you don't know what Death Battle is a internet show on YouTube via the Screw Attack YouTube channel. Highly recommend looking that up. And basically what they do is they put 2 or 3 or 4 characters from various universes and media, TV, comics, video games, movies, and they put them in a literal death battle. Now, before you say, well, this is clearly like a nerd show, it's totally biased and it's not like that. Death Battle is actually incredibly good about putting bias out of it. And they do literal scientific study and research, I kid you not, to determine who would win a death battle. This is a no prep time, neutral location, or like location not affecting them kind of battle. This is about the characters, their abilities, their skills, their armor, and seeing who would win. It's really a lot of fun. They've done over 50 episodes doing matchups that both you expected and you not expect, and it'll get your fan boy and fangirl juices going. It does every time for me. And this time last week, they released their season finale. They've decided to do seasons now after 57 odd episodes, and it was one that's my childhood incarnate, and so I felt I had to talk about it on Todd Talk. So what it was Pokemon versus Digimon. Yes, they did that. It was awesome. Basically, they took Ash. I'm sorry, they did not take Ash. They took Red from a Pokemon, the Origins anime and the games, because technically that's who you play as Red, and then Tai and Akumon from the first season of Digimon, and they put him in a death battle. Now, this is funny because, as you can see, I'm excited about this because this really was my childhood. Pokemon and Digimon, oh my gosh, I mean, like so many memories. There's so many video games, so many collectibles, the cards. Honestly, I didn't have that many plushies. I actually only have like one Pokemon plushie to my name. I feel sad now. But I do have the crests from Digimon. I still have all the Pokemon games. I even had a Pokemon pillowcase for a long time. Again, this was my childhood. But the thing was, like, when I heard about this matchup, which they pitched as Charizard versus Greymon, I honestly wasn't that excited about it. Not because I didn't want to see these two battle, but because of the fact that I felt that Greymon would win outright. For the record, I'm totally going to spoil this death battle, so if you somehow have not seen this death battle or need to get introduced to death battle, I have the link below in the comments, or if you're listening to the SoundCloud page, I'll have the link there. So I highly recommend checking that out. And then coming back and finishing this episode. You're just now at the 3 minutes, about 15-second mark. I'll wait for you. Okay, we're good. So, I totally expected Greymon to win. Not because I just felt like Greymon was a better character or stronger monster per se, but because in a previous death battle, they did what is called the Pokemon Battle Royale, in which they put Blastoise versus Charizard versus Venusaur, aka the Battle of the Starters that you all wondered, hey, did I pick the right starter in the original games? Hint, Blastoise won. Spoilers. But one of the things they noted about Charizard in that Battle Royale was that though Charizard is fast and powerful, he is frail, which is true. This was a wild Charizard for the record, but its stats after 99 rare candies showed that its defense and special defense were lacking. But that's fine in theory because, again, he has speed, he has power, and usually can avoid that. But then he put that up against a Digimon, especially Digimon like Greymon, and I just felt that this was not going to work. Like, in a battle, I just felt like Greymon would just straight up overpower. And because Greymon is literally over 3 times the size of a normal Charizard, Greymon is 20 feet tall, and Charizard is 5'7" on average. Yes, there are some bigger, but we're using Red's Charizard, so go with that. Now, thankfully, as the death battle aired, I found out they were not only using the connection between Red and Charizard and Tai and Agumon here, but they were also going to invoke Mega Evolution, in this case, Mega Charizard X, which is the one that happened in the anime, Pokemon Origins. which is good because they gave Charizard a much needed power boost and possibly tipped the scales. And then, as we were to be revealed, they gave Agumon full line of evolution, so he could go to Greymon to Mega Greymon to War Greymon should he choose, which is good because if you limit Greymon but you fully power up a Charizard, where's the fairness in that? And spoiler, seriously, if you haven't seen this, you're on the clock here because I'm about to spoil what happened in this death battle. Agumon won, and he won in absolutely the most vicious, epic manner ever. And the funny thing was that it was totally believable how they did it, because it started off with just Red finding Agumon, who was roasting marshmallow for some reason, and Agumon gets mad. Taiyab shows up. Red summons Charizard, and they start battling. Agumon is no match for Charizard, which is, again, totally believable. Agumon is a rookie level Digimon. Its power is limited, and Charizard's a fully evolved Pokemon with maxed out stats in reference to Charizard's. So that was believable. And then Agumon Digivolves, and we got Greymon, and now it's just like, oh crap, is about to go down. And so those two are fighting, and it's really fun. And Charizard actually, through Red's guidance, which I felt was a key factor here, because Red is a strategist, and even more than Tai the Digimon or Digidestined, Red has more control over the Digimon or his Pokemon than they do over their Digimon in theory. Yes, they usually guide them in some way, but Red is like, Charizard do this, Charizard do that, Charizard do this, Charizard do that, Charizard Mega Evolve, that kind of thing. And it really worked because it actually showed that, in theory anyway, Greymon and Charizard could be on equal standing. And then, of course, Charizard Omega evolves and just totally carves into Greymon. And you're like wondering, oh, what's going to happen next? And sure enough, Greymon gets powered down to Agumon, and it's like, okay, screw it. Warp Digivolve. Let's just skip Metal Greymon. Let's go right to War Greymon. And they even had like the animation and everything. And it was so awesome. I just love hearing the Digivolution thing. That was great. I love that they had that in there. And it started out you thinking, oh wow, this is actually quite even footing. I still can't believe this happened. So Mega Charizard X actually gets a slight upper hand on War Greymon, and Tai just comes in and just hits Red right in the head. And Red's shocked. He's like, what are you doing? We're not supposed to battle. And Tai's like, call off your dragon. And so, the Charizard's looking over him, and nice big question marks are over his head. And then War Greymon just goes, and he just really starts slicing him up. Let's see how you do without those wings, And then you flip over to Tai and Red, and Red's got a black eye. Tai's just holding him, like beating him senseless, and Charizard gets thrown onto Red. It breaks his legs. I kid you not. This was all 3D animated, by the way. It was funny. Red has bleeding, has his broken legs, and then War Greymon just straight up uses Terra Force on both of them, completely killing them both, ending the battle KO. And on one hand, I am completely happy because I predicted the winner correctly. But what I loved was the explanation behind it. And for me, this is why I love Death Battle. Because if you just did the characters and you just did the fighting, but you didn't back it up, how is anyone going to believe you? Why should, straight on paper, yes, Charizard is faster. So you could say, oh, well, Charizard's faster, so he could be Greymon, but no, Greymon's 2 stories tall, and he flipped up a Shellmon in literally his first appearance, which is just the size of him and twice the weight, so clearly he's stronger, and he could go Charizard. So how do you determine not only who wins, but why they should win? And the reasoning was actually quite beautiful, and this is why I love Death Battle. When you think about Pokemon evolution, especially in the video games, if you look at their stats from pre-evolution to post-evolution, they're different. They are, but they're not earth-shattering, huge. Yes, they'll have jumps in HP and strength and speed and special defense and evasiveness, sure. But it's not like they jump 20, 30 points plus per evolution. Not only would that potential break the game, but it would make it incredibly unreliable. I like to think of it as kind of like a Fire Emblem level up, or a class change. Yes, they gain more power, more abilities, and they gain better stats, but it's not like 20%, 20 plus health, 20 plus strength, 35 plus speed. That's not how it works. Yes, they're better, but they're not infinitely better. They always have limitations. Whereas Digimon, the more it digivolves, its strength is not incremental, it's proportional, or even, I can't even think of a word, leagues above what the previous Digivolution did. For example, if a Charmeleon and a Charizard both have Flamethrower, Charizard's in theory should be better, but not by much, or not by a significant margin. If you look at Agumon's Pepper Breath versus Greymon's Nova Blast, there's no comparison. Nova Blast can literally launch a Digimon champion level off a cliff. It beat, in the Digimon movie, it beat Paramon, who was an ultimate Digimon, which, shouldn't have happened, but whatever, But you could never do that with Agumon and Pepper Breath. The jump between Rookie, Champion, Ultimate, and Mega, as they said in the show, is often leagues above into the absurd category. And that's fine, because that's what needs to happen in Digimon. Because we gotta remember, these shows were incredibly similar but incredibly different on numerous levels. And one of the way they had to show the difference was, through the evolutions. Pokemon evolutions are permanent. That's why they're incremental in stats, because if if they go way too powerful, how is any Pokemon supposed to stand up to you unless they're that fully evolved form? Whereas in Digimon, the whole point was that these kids had to have their Digimon digivolve to face these Digimon who have, through one way or another, already gotten this massive power. They had to grow stronger, they had to get better, and then the power within them had to be there to be unleashed. And if it was just, oh, you have to do training and get stronger, then that's just Pokemon. And that's not the point here. Digivolution is a partnership from trainer to Digimon, and it releases the power that is within them. That's the whole point. That's why they were Digi-destined, because they were the ones who could unlock the true power of Digivolution, not just a one-off, oh yeah, you're Digivolved. It's no, you're Digivolved, and now you can get stronger, and now you get stronger depending on who you need to face. That was the whole point, and that's why I really liked it. And I'm not saying that a Pokemon can't beat Digimon. It's just, again, when you compare them, incremental versus massive proportional increase, there's honestly no competition, unless it's, I would even say a Mewtwo or one of the legendary Pokemon who have these massive powers and stats would have trouble with certain Digimon. And they even noted that in that Metal Greymon, the ultimate form of Agumon, is documented as having the power of a nuclear warhead. And remember, he has the Giga Blaster in his chest and Giga Destroyer. So how is a Mega Charizard, or a Charizard even, supposed to stand up against missiles with nuclear force? Yeah, there you go. So that was really, really fun. And you could just tell I'm just geeking out here because, again, it's just science behind it. There's the logic behind it that made me think. It was the logic that made me make this choice. Because anyone who knows me knows that Pokemon is one of my favorite franchises ever in Nintendo. And, why not? I mean, Pokemon's a great game. It's a great franchise. I still wake up every Saturday morning at 7 a.m., 6:51. I gotta make my peanut butter and jelly sandwich to watch Pokemon because I love the show. I love it, especially love XY right now. It's like the best season they've had in years, and series and whatever. And I still have very fond memories of Digimon. When I was in college, I found a YouTube channel that had all 4 seasons. I only liked the first 4, and I binge watched them all, and I've had all these great memories, and a lot of those episodes stand up today because that's how great Digimon was. And so it wasn't that I just loved Digimon over Pokemon. If you gave me a choice, I would probably just say it's a straight up tie. Tie. That's funny. Because I love both shows. Again, I used to say I watch Pokemon in the mornings and then Digimon in the afternoons because that's when they aired for me many of the times. And so it wasn't that I just favored one over the other. It's just that I knew that Digimon in their Digivolutions, their strength increased to such a level when they Digivolved that it made the previous form look laughable. Whereas in Evolution, in Pokemon is, man, they got this boost in power, but you can still, measure it. You know what I mean? So, now sadly for me, this was the season finale. Season, not series, as I noted multiple times. And this makes me sad because I got into Death Battle about February this year. I heard of Death Battle before because of a conversation in the workplace I used to be at. But then one February, I just wanted to watch it. And my first episode was Kirby versus Majin Buu, and I go Kirby. He won. Spoilers. And I started binge watching all of them. Then every 3 or 4 weeks, there was a new episode, and I got to enjoy it. And some I loved, some I didn't like, some I thought could be better. One actually single-handedly got me into a new show that I am now a crazy fan of. Shout out Ruby. Yang. And so when I heard this was season finale, I was really, really sad. But it was a great way to end the season. And they're only going to be gone a few months, which, TV, Showtime. And then once they do, they'll probably just crank them out the rest of the year. So I'm excited. And I'm really happy they did this Death Battle because this is 2 shows, 2 fan bases that at one time, and even still now, still war about which one's better. And I know this won't even come close to settling the score, but it's still nice to see that, they're remembered. Even when they were doing a Death Battle Live, where the hosts Ben and Chad were talking about it, and they were talking about how much they loved Pokemon and Digimon growing up, and even now they were like, "Who would you rather be, a Digimon tamer or a Pokemon trainer?" And, this is the kind of discussions I love, because I've imagined myself in both of these worlds, and so just to talk about it, to think about it, to relive it, and to have all these fond memories come back to me, it's just a lot of fun. So, on that note, I will say this is the end of Todd Talk. I thank you for listening. If you want to talk about this after you watch the Death Battle, or if you have watched the Death Battle and have your thoughts, please just leave me a comment below. I will see them all. I will respond to them all. And I will be happy to show my Pokemon or Digimon pride, whichever you prefer. So, I'll probably take a small break for the next episode till after the holidays, so you can all enjoy your Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever holiday you choose to celebrate. I will be back before the new year, though, hopefully with a nice little fun discussion. I have no doubt I'll be coming back to Death Battle in this 3-month gap, as I'll weigh in on some of my favorite Death Battles and give my thoughts unto you about them. If you have a topic that you think I might want to talk about, just to me in the comments. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at Guardians_comic. And on the note, I will wrap this up. I thank you for coming. If you've made it this far, I know you were listening to me talk, so thank you for that. And I will see you around.